family traditions is that they come in many different forms, right? So it could be something that your great-grandparents did with their family, and it's something that got passed down through the generations. Or it could be something that your family did, and it's a family tradition that you started as a child. So needless to say, all families have a tradition, whether they know it or not. And today I want to talk about a family tradition of mine that my brother and I started when we were little kids. The tradition began the day I picked up a baseball bat for the first time. Now, I don't really remember picking up a baseball bat for the first time. I was probably way too little. And but the day I did, it set into motion a family tradition that, to this day, I still cherish, and we still do occasionally. So, quick background. My brother and I, well, my twin brother, actually, luckily we look nothing alike. We've always loved sports and being outdoors for as long as I can remember. And growing up, it was inevitable because my dad is a lifelong and diehard San Francisco Giants and 49ers fan. So ever since I can remember, I grew up watching Giants games almost daily with my parents. And this led me to love the game of baseball and everything about it. And so this love for the game of baseball is what makes this family tradition so great for me. This family tradition started after my first baseball game when I was barely old enough to play t-ball, so maybe like 5 years old or so. I can't really remember. But my family and I went out to a local diner that my aunt works at, which is called Ranch Kitchen in my hometown. It's not that fancy or anything. It's actually kind of a little run down, but it was one of my parents' favorite diners, and there's not too many small locally owned ones in my hometown. So from there, every year after our first baseball game, either being tryouts or any weekend morning game, we would, as a family, go there for breakfast. And me and my brother would still be in our baseball uniforms, probably covered in dirt and grass, but also still with a pocket full of sunflower seeds that we'd spill all over the benches at the restaurant. And every time, just like clockwork, my aunt would come out, and she'd be carrying the ketchup and mustard to bring to the table. And every time, she would pretend to trip and fall and act like she sprayed mustard all over one of us, but every time, it was just filled with fabric. But me and my brother, just being little kids, we fell for it every time, and we loved it. But eventually, my aunt retired. She was a little bit older, and minus the fake mustard, we kept the family tradition going and went to Ranch Kitchen every time after our baseball game until I was done playing baseball. Now, to wrap it all up, some of you may be thinking, well, once baseball was over, did you guys keep doing this family tradition? And we did. The diner underwent multiple different ownerships and closed down for a bit, unfortunately. But anytime we're all back together in our hometown, we make a point to set aside one weekend morning, and we go there and grab breakfast together. And for me, it's something that brings back countless childhood memories. Little League, Babe Ruth, all the way up to high school, just hanging out with friends on the weekends and then going to grab breakfast after baseball in the morning. And it's a family tradition that I'll always cherish.